All right, good evening. We are here at 1410 Main Street for our tour. Today is September the 21st, 2022, and this is a before tour of this magnificent building. I'm Jean Finstein, currently the president of Friends of Wheeling, and we welcome all of you either here in person or online to this magnificent building. So let me give you a little bit of history, and then I'll turn this over to the new owners as of 3 days ago. Yeah. So this truly is a before tour because they have only just barely gotten in. So here we go. This area of Wheeling has been commercial for decades. I have something that's called a bird's eye view of Wheeling from 1870 that shows a row of buildings along the east side of Main Street, south of 14th, which is where we are, and it looks like there's a smaller building here at that time. That's 1870, but that was just a sketch, so it's hard to tell how accurate it would be. The first Wheeling City Directory that I found for 1410 Main Street was in 1882-83 for the George S. Feeny Company, wholesale confectioner and fancy grocery. That listing is consistent with the 1884 Sanborn map that indicates a narrow three-story brick building that was marked wholesale candy at this address. Now, if you're not familiar with the Sanborn maps, the Sanborn Insurance Company made measured drawings of buildings in cities around the country for the purpose of determining fire insurance rates. So being a pink building indicated that it was a brick building. If it was yellow, it was forth, and it would put the number on there, the number of floors, and there's a 3. So at that time, it was a 3-story brick building. But it was the same general narrow configuration that we have today. So our assumption is that the 4th floor was added on at some point. We have a biography of Mr. Feeny. This was found on Find a Grave. He was the son of Hugh Fitzgerald Feeny, an Irish immigrant. Sounds very Irish, doesn't it? And Mary Steenrod. George was born in Wheeling in 1841. When the Civil War broke out, he enlisted in the fall of 1861 in Company G of the Stonewall Brigade. So he was a Confederate. During his service, he contracted typhoid fever, which rendered him unable to perform active duty. Approximately 3 months later, George was able to accept a staff position with Major J.C. Johnson and was promoted to first lieutenant for gallant and meritorious service. He served the remainder of the war and was surrendered with the Army of General Johnson. He was paroled in Augusta, Georgia. George Feeny engaged in the battles of Shenandoah Valley, Kernstown, Port Republic, Cross Keys, Winchester, Front Royal, and also the 7 days fighting before Richmond. He was twice captured, once near Bristol, Tennessee, and the second time near Jonesboro, Georgia, all within a week's time. After the war, he returned to Wheeling and began the wholesale grocery business. Now, also on Find a Grave was an image that looks like it was from an exhibit at the Ohio County Public Library. So I'll leave this here. You can take a look. You can see what Mr. Feeny looked like. By the time of the 1898-1899 City Directory, the property is shown as the location of Harper Brother Wholesale Hats, operated by Samuel W. Harper, your ancestor, and his mother, Marion L. Harper, the widow of Henry M. Harper, who had been brother of Samuel. The firm advertised as wholesalers of hats, caps, and gloves, manufacturers of the celebrated Eagle brand hat, fur, and hats, also a complete line of straw goods. Office and sales room, 1410 Main. Have you found any candy or any hats yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right. Now that description agrees with the Sanborn map from 1902, which shows the building right here, 1410 Main Street. By now it is a 4-story brick building. Okay. There's a photograph and a brief biography from Progressive West Virginians and it describes Samuel W. Harper as of 1923. Harper married Lily Edgerton Vance, a daughter of James Nelson Vance, who is known as the benefactor of Vance Memorial Presbyterian Church. Now, the biography states that at that time, in 1923, he was a prominent bank and trust. He was the president of the Wheeling Bank and Trust Company. Born in Wheeling in 1874, educated in public schools and Lindsley Military Institute at Wheeling. When a young man, Mr. Harper became proprietor of the Harper Brothers Wholesale Hat Establishment and continued in that business until 1908, when he was named vice president of the Consolidated Telephone Company, and in 1914 he was made president of the Southeastern Ohio Railway Company. He's been president of the Wheeling Bank and Trust Company since 1919, and under his presidency it has grown into one of the largest banks in the state. Mr. Harper is a Mason, being a member of Bates Lodge. He holds membership cards in the Fort Henry, Old Colony, and Country Clubs of Wheeling, New York Athletic, and Duquesne Club of Pittsburgh. He's a member of the Vance Memorial Presbyterian Church, and we have a picture of him as well. Same mustache, but other than that, I don't know. Now, Harper moved on to other things, and then it appears that the property became the home of Miller Furniture and Storage Company, owned by George H. Miller, and advertising general storage and household goods packed for shipment, quote unquote. The first city directory found with the Miller Company was one from 1917-1918, and the 1921 Sanborn map shows the Miller property with an adjacent property that looks like a building with a hole in it. And if you walk outside and look to the left, there's no building there. And the Sanborn map says, ruins of fire, no floors, walls still standing 28 feet high. So there was literally a shell door at the time of that map. That's 1921-22. By the time of the 1923-24 city directory and the 1921 Sanborn map, Goodwin Drug Company occupied this address. The family seems to think that the business itself started earlier than that, so perhaps they were at a different location. Company president was J. Thomas Goodwin, and by this time, by around the turn of the century, Goodwin had retired from business but was still listed as the company president until his death in 1925. During the 1920s, the wholesale drug company was operated by Goodwin's former business partners, John McDonald and John Reed. It remained in business until 2017, and the company name is still visible on the window. Now, you may not have recognized that this was the Goodwin Drug Company. It was a wholesale drug company. So normal people didn't go in and out. It just provided different drug-related materials to commercial drugstores. And so that is the history that I know.
The Miller, were they related to the J.E. Miller?
I don't know. I wondered that myself. George H. Miller was his name. I tried to look up his death record, and there were a whole slew of George Millers, and none of them seemed, their death certificates would say retired or whatever, so I wasn't able to follow that line. But that would be a possibility.
Trucking company, their transfer, wasn't it?
Yeah,
right.
They sold out, so they don't do any commercial moving anymore.
Yeah, but they more recently were in Fulton.
Yeah,
so,
on the peninsula.
Yeah, it's very possible that that was the case. Any other questions before we turn this over to the people in the know?
So you're saying, Gene, it was in business till 2017 and then closed up, and that's what we see.
Yes, and it's been sitting empty, my understanding is, since 2017. But you can see they hadn't done much to modernize things. They didn't need to. I mean, they had plenty of shelf space, and when you go upstairs, you'll see there's plenty of storage space. It's interesting that this building, although it seems to be connected to the Wheeling Artisan Center next door, this is 4 stories, And that building is only 3 stories, which is kind of curious. And so, Libby, is your microphone on? Turn this over to Libby Strong. They are the new owners. You may recognize them as the proprietor market.
While they're doing that, Gene, I think you'll see 2 places where it's Wheeling, Virginia and Wheeling, West Virginia. I think they're side by side.
Yes, in the Artisan Center building. Yes. So look
I was
outside.
curious.
The cast rooms, and it appears that one and the other side after. Wheeling Coffee and Spice also. They don't have both. Anything else? All right, Libby, you're on. I will turn my microphone to Robert for him to fill in.
Hey, I think it's on. Sounds like it is.
We are blinking.
So as Gene mentioned, we're new owners, and we're so happy to be really the stewards of this beautiful old building. And I just asked the former owner if it was okay for me to introduce her, and she said, "Oh, you don't have to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway." Joe Ellen, wave at everybody. Okay, this is Joe Ellen Albers, and Tom Castello, your brother-in-law, is you. I hadn't met him before, so they did make it to the tour. And thanks for coming. She was so kind. She showed us how to use the freight elevator and everything. So, you know, when you have an old building like this, it's kind of interesting to find out all of the little ins and outs. But their family had been in this building for a very long time. The company started in 1904, and so that's a long time to have a company, and a long time also that they've been in the building. We already heard that your dad worked here for 50 years, so it's a really wonderful thing that Wheeling was home to such a nice company. We're planning on putting a legacy kiosk together about what the building had been, and especially the Goodwin Drug Company, since it had been here for such a long time. And so we're going to be working on that, any history that would be pertinent and things, so that that's not forgotten as well. When we first looked at the building, it was kind of a fluke that we even knew it was available, and then several of the people who were here in this room were very instrumental in helping us along as we were trying to figure out what to do. As many of you know, we're in Center Market area right now, and our landlord Andy Hogan is selling the building. We've got plans that this building is going to work very well for us to have as our new home. So we wanted to own, and this is going to be what we're looking toward. We have some folks who are working with us who are going to be doing historical renovations. We have a facade grant already that's going to be working to not replace the windows that are here, but to restore them. And we're going to be working from there to get shelving ready, floors ready, etc., so that we can move our retail space here, but also to expand into what we wanted to do for many, many years, which is to have a bigger hands-on science center and workshop area, and etc., which will be on the second floor.
On the second floor.
So we are really trying to get things paced properly so that we can get that accomplished, and we're really thankful for everybody that's helped us to get to that point.
Head moving with you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Inquiring minds want to know.
So the head will move from Market to Maine. Yeah.
Yeah, there's several people that have already expressed the want to be the movers. They want to put it in the back of their truck and take it on a very circuitous route before it arrives, which I find very, very funny. It might be in the Christmas parade.
Right. Let me just do one other little introduction, and that I see Ellie and Maddie McGregor here, and they are also renovating an old building, a old home on Chaplin Street. So if you need any advice on how to do whatever, Ellie and Maddie may be able to help with that.
Thank you.
So, okay. All right, I will stay here in case any latecomers arrive. If you two want to
All right, that's fine.
maybe split the group into two or something.
Okay. I will say that you guys are well versed at being in old buildings, and then the stairs are a little steep. Sometimes for me, depending on how tired I am, they're steeper than others, right? But it's not a problem. They're very sturdy. So we got the second floor, third floor, fourth floor in this building. So it's really huge. And this looks narrower than it is. This bank of bookshelves right here actually kind of divides out the room. It goes further this direction. So that's really pretty cool. I mean, it's actually as wide as where we are now in one section of the building that we're renting. So it's pretty spacious. This area here that was the old office, also really gorgeous area too. But we've got basement, first floor, second floor, third floor, and fourth floor.
Is this
So
also
I'm not
going
sure.
to be a residence for you?
No.
No, we have a home in Moorwood that we're pretty committed to. Yeah.
And if we lived where we work, well, we already live where we work. But if we literally slept where we worked, yeah. I at some point I will be officially from West Virginia, but I've spent 37 years in West Virginia. I don't know when I get my ID card, but I'm hoping any day now that somebody from the governor's office will call and say, you are officially a West Virginian now.
Yeah, don't hold it against him. He went to high school in Richmond, Virginia.
No, East Virginia. Yes.
The other Virginia.
The other Virginia.
And I'm
yes.
from the Eastern Panhandle, Grant County. Petersburg is where I grew up. And
So
but I've lived in West
she's
Virginia
cool.
most of my life, except some time overseas and some time in New York. But don't hold that against me. Yep.
Okay.
All right. So how do you guys normally divide yourselves up?
Normally, just have somebody walk us through.
Okay.
But people will tarry and
Okay.
break off and be nosy and
Okay. All right. Nosy is fine. Don't mess with the elevator. Do you understand?
and watch what
My
you
teacher voice will come out.
watch what you touch, because, for instance, I see some insulin syringes.
Right.
Look at everything, though. Look at the really cool.
You can look at things. There's some really exciting finds that are from different time periods. But like I said, they were in business until 2017, so some of the things are rather recent. The inventory that's still here, and then some things are antique. So those that are really interested in here may find some of even the fixtures just really cool. So yeah.
And I just want to mention again, we've got 3 sign-in sheets. We'd love to see who is here and contact information. Because when we are moving it at various stages, we'd love to contact you back. For instance, you didn't mention what your plans are for this room.
Oh yeah. So many of you know that at our science store we carry Kirk's ice cream, and you may have enjoyed that at some point in the past. We still have it. We're going to be working to have this glassed-in area right here as an old-time kind of ice cream parlor. Thank you very much. Actually, it was the realtor's idea, saying, I can see the ice cream in there, and so I'm already kind of thinking about what to do. So if you got any great ideas or know where to get some,
Please
nice,
contact us.
Those red top stools. Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
All right, carry on.
Go for it. And
Okay,
I think, Jim, you want to follow? Okay.
Here, I'll give that to you.
Thank you.
So, do you want me to leave it to you, or do you want to? And then they're going to redesign the store.
I don't know whether she inadvertently turned it off or not.
So Steve, because when you go up there, you're going, so why should we at Mount Everest top any time now, right?
Who is your GC?
This is John Smith. Yeah, he's like the best.
Okay,
He's
now,
the storage preservation guy.
Yes, yeah. He's,
so it goes all the way back here. And I wanted to show some of you the one interesting thing, and Joan probably she told me about this. How are you related? So they had their comics that. So they had they had to go through these, and there's a big safe. Yeah. Now, we're not sure yet if we can do it, but we're thinking about putting a bathroom in the safe. It's pretty cool. That's the first a bigger commercial bathroom. So anyway, there's some from where they were getting all of the other things out. But this is an original. Check out the old fridge there. Isn't that crazy? I was showing him the cage. So that's down to the basement. Want to go up first?
Well, she was sneezing.
He's back there talking. Okay. We're going up!
okay.
My great-grandfather had a twin brother. That's where the brothers came.
Well, some ninth graders out there. This one's not too hard to get up.
They're worse.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. The first floor is the only no, not the only. Doesn't have tin ceiling. This has tin ceiling. Third floor doesn't. Fourth floor does. Yeah. But I like the print on this.
You know, it was probably made in Wheeling.
Yes, exactly.
So your plan is to have the first floor as your retail space?
Yes, and then this will be the science center. Uh-huh. So
Well, you got-
Robert,
More space in.
You got huge space.
yeah. Hey Robert.
You need the other shot.
Get some lights.
Yeah. We turned on so many lights and we didn't turn all the way down that.
Turn on the lights upstairs.
No, he excuse me. Yeah. Hey, Robert. He's the one who can reach things to turn them on. No, just be careful, guys.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
trip on that.
Yeah. And it's a little uneven right here.
Get your cell phone lights out. Yeah.
Were you expecting all this to be left behind? Or you bought the building looking like this?
No, we didn't buy it sight unseen. There were some people who made offers for this place and never looked at it. These out-of-town investor folks, you know, they're just like, oh, big building, gonna buy it, blah, blah, blah. But they never even looked at it.
Burma shave.
Yeah, you guys need to
It's
look
over
at
here,
some of
too.
this. Yeah.
There's some more.
So there's Burma shave, there's old bobby pins. It's wonderful stuff. Look, old bobby pins, there's Fitzgerald. Looky, you can tease your hair. Oh yeah, right? Okay, so here, Royal Crown Deluxe Pomade.
Yeah, you would have paid
Yeah.
and you would have gotten it.
Look at these pomades.
Denture retainers. Anyone need any denture
Oh, I'm
retainers?
telling you what, this stuff is cool.
Denture cutters.
And when I got it, I probably got 3,000. I don't know, I took care of them. What year did you leave?
Like I said, there's quite a few things here that are just.
You see these?
You look at it and go,
Fire, police pension, employees
Tried to contact HR twice and never got a response.
the burnish shade is really cool. I like that one.
Judy's right.
So you're gonna leave
A whole bunch of burnish shade.
Oh,
This time,
Judy is here. See, because
There's some down there too.
They don't have the poems.
there's a bunch of
now but I took care of fire and you would have had a, you know,
lots of old baby bottles. Okay, so looky there, a whole bunch, different sizes. Yeah, lots of different old glass baby bottles. Also, yeah, old toothpaste. Joellen said that at one point in time they sold a lot of crepe paper to places. So that's all
What
like,
was it used for?
like parties and stuff.
Why would it go now?
You know, but just that's what I think.
Some of those boxes
Isn't that
of gauze,
crazy?
they're intact. They can
I
still
know.
be. They still can be
okay. And
used.
if anybody has any ideas for like some of this more recent stuff, because the gauze and the well, you'll see. I won't spoil the surprise. There's a lot of stuff that is even newer. Your Kleenex here.
Crepe paper, plate.
This is a nice area right here too. Isn't this cool? So look at the old freezer.
There's 12.
Oh,
Ted talked to us, I talked to you.
yeah. Well, I'm glad it worked out. I was
That was
still
helpful.
a lot better than it did. I wasn't
Yes,
sure if
yes.
it would. But...
I'll get that with you later.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad it worked out.
yeah, me
To be
too.
glad for you. I'm very excited to be on
So this bathroom will be expanded. So for the science center and the stairs will be widened, and then we're looking at getting a small elevator.
Did you make it to Sheboygan?
Yeah, more shelves. So if some of you didn't see the old baby bottles and some things over here, it's pretty cool. Burma shades and other different commodity items.
Big enlisted scoundrel who abandoned the family.
Bunch of rolled cotton.
Started another family.
Yeah. Well, I live at third floor if you want to come. All right. Who else up here? Hey, here's the deal. Lots of amber glass bottles. Lots of different sizes. So, yeah. Some of these things will be needing to get rid of the charcoal lighter and things. I have Safety Clean coming on Monday, and they're going to be taking out some of them.
The hazardous stuff.
Yeah. So believe it or not, we get a little more stuff as you go up. So.
Oh, wow.
Who did Andy Huggins did sell out to, or is that not public knowledge?
Oh, he didn't sell it yet. I mean, he owns the building, but he hasn't sold it yet, to my knowledge. We've rented there for 13 years. He's a nice guy.
I don't know him, but I know the family. Pretty cool, Jen.
So, the plan is that inventory and some of the exhibits and things that we're going to put on the second floor will be here on the third floor and the fourth floor until the renovations get done on the first and second. So, as you can see, there's plenty of space, especially like there's enough shelving to move up here to put more things on, plus there's shelving to be put upstairs too.
Are you gonna try to keep the floors as surface
You guys know like everybody in Wheeling. So if you know somebody who does a reasonable price on refinishing wood floors, let us know, because the estimate that we got, they aren't floor refinisher people. And Betsy Sweeney told me one of the things that happens is if that's not actually all that the person does, then they have to like grab all the materials and they have to, and so maybe somebody who just does that. Because we actually had a guy from Pittsburgh wander in the store Saturday and was looking at the floors in our current place where we're renting, and he goes, those floors. And I said, oh, you like your floors? He goes, that's all I do. That's my job. And I'm like, and so I said, hey, do you ever do work in Wheeling? So it's interesting. But yeah, take a look at some of the interesting things, like 666 Coleman's. I never heard of it, but I don't know who would want to take it. Is that cool? I love it.
I told him.
Okay.
Now, what happens to all of this stuff? What happens to all this stuff?
All of this is gonna, that's what I was saying, all of it's gonna be moved, most of the inventory to the fourth floor. It's gonna be cataloged and sold. But that's why I'm wanting to put Wheeling in as the first dibs. If you've got something that you would like, then we'll let folks know in Wheeling.
No, I was a buyer for a drug chain for 5 years, so I've seen all this stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I absolutely have to show you this one thing, okay? This is my favorite thing, and I got a lot of favorite things. Okay. A Litres cordial, a compound content of alcohol, 27.8%, for use in functional derangements of the female generative organs, use as directed by the physician.
Oh my
so
goodness.
I did some research on this. This is like from 1900, 1920, and there's several of them still in the original packaging. They gave it to ladies who were having various female disorders, and somebody was a science museum actually done research on it, and they said that it wasn't toxic, harmful, or anything. It was like alcohol and some plant extract, essentially.
Oh my.
But
It's
I
more
mean, this is
placebo
what,
than-
but my husband and I dabbled some in antiques, and I saw this, and I'm like, that is old, So it turns out that probably 1900, 1920.
Now have you tried it?
No. I might need it by the time this is all done.
It's already deranged.
Derangement. Derangement of that.
Yeah, you better take a few bottles of that.
Well, there's some posters as you go along too that crack me up. I just love them.
So you're
There's
serious?
a children's aspirin. I mean,
Yeah, that looks good.
Listerine. My daddy always used that.
Wow. Original Listerine.
It's a treat by the vet.
Anybody needs a shave.
Well, after our experience with their house.
Right? There's perfume. Can't vouch for how good it smells, but
What are you gonna do?
gonna junk it all?
No. So there's new, old, a real market for new old.
Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. We've antiqued enough to know that. A lot of this stuff I had seen. And
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
yeah.
You know,
Go through, take anything
it-
out that's dangerous or hazardous,
Yeah.
you know, flammable stuff, whatever. The safety of your house, and they give us an estimate of stuff, and then anything that's okay to sell.
Good idea.
Just try to get it all categorized and organized, and we've got some folks who are going to help us with that.
Yeah, you got a whole box of customer ledgers, you know, where they put their
Yeah,
charges.
I know.
Yeah.
And so it was important that the family made sure they came through a few times to make sure they got everything
Yeah,
that
'cause
had anybody's.
Goodwin Drug Company right on the bottom, yeah.
Look at these cool things. I like the cart things. See, they roll.
Oh yeah, when they're picking things for an order.
Yeah. So they just.
This is the Amazon warehouse before it's time.
Exactly.
When do you
This
think
is
when do you think you'll move in?
as soon as it's done.
Good answer.
Yeah, we've got we've got the wheels going with the facade grant. Oh, we in motion pretty soon with that, and then like I said, we've already got the Safety Clean coming to do the. You know, like there's every once in a while you'll see some insecticide and things that'll be going.
Roach killer.
Yeah.
Oh, right, of course. Well, yeah.
Yeah, Vermicelli.
Say it, John. John knows it. Vermicelli.
We made Grandpa look so youthful. His pension board.
Some of these are older than others, but there's all different sizes of the amber glass bottles. All different sizes all over the place.
Well, that's when they had to fix their own.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that pretty? I thought that box was so pretty. There's yeah, I know.
Don't keep too much for yourself in your house.
I know, right? I was like, okay. I was thinking that my Christmas shop for my sisters here.
Yeah, pick what your own bottle of.
There's some things. You already went up to the top. You've already been up and down.
Yes, we're fast. He's a runner.
Now this one is a little harder to climb because the rail doesn't go the whole way up.
That's back here? Okay, I'm missing.
Okay, if you want to go up.
Oh, yeah, I did too. I didn't hear far.
Yeah, I think they're here. Yeah.
Yeah, the rail stops about 1.5 meters before you get to the top, and you don't really have anything to hold on to.
Oh boy.
What's that? But we've got person.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah. Okay, and we've got things to wipe your hands on downstairs.
Okay.
Anyway, we won't stay up here very long. This is the only place that has some things in it that we definitely want to make sure get out. There's some insecticide. So.
I get rid of the phosphoric acid down there.
Typewriter.
Yeah. There's some different chemicals, but
Rat poison in there.
yeah, well.
There's a lot of stuff here that could go to the flood areas. I mean, there's tissue boxes, there's baby bottles, there's undergarments. I mean, so there's a lot of stuff
Where
that's...
was the rat poison that you saw? Because there was some right here.
It's right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is the poster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the poster I wanted to show you. And yeah, there is still some rat poison here that's going to go out with the Safety Clean. But this is the poster I love for you to look at. Morex, it kills me, but I love it. So you put it in the water and they drink it. That's essentially what that is. But
Where you put it in people's blood thinner.
there's
It's a blood
lots of-
thinner.
Yeah,
It's a blood thinner. That's what it does.
Yeah.
Libby, here's a couple of the killer, insect killer.
Yeah,
As far as what you wear.
yeah, we'll put the code on that too for him to see. But,
So you have roof access then, the next, on the stairs?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so,
by the roof, if you had your son
it's
sitting up there.
inside where it's easy to, it's a roll roof. Yeah, that's, I just showed that rat poison stuff, yeah.
Isn't that what they
Blood thinner.
prescribe for knee pain?
Well,
Blood thinner.
now,
It's a blood
it's
thinner.
different, isn't that funny? But yeah, there's several,
It's Coumadin.
when I'm,
You remember?
yeah.
That's the generic name.
Yeah, when I'm thinking of, there is the rat poison that'll go out with the Safety Clean guy. But this is a beat up poster, but there's a bunch of these posters on the rat poison stuff. So I take the posters off.
Yeah.
And keep the posters and get rid of the poison. But, yeah, so there's the rat poison and some insecticide stuff. But then there's these old Better Homes and Gardens cookbooks that came
There's a tonic
free
down
with
there.
some stuff.
27% alcohol.
Yeah, there's
What you got?
Well, it looks like a little,
yeah, there's quite a bit of glassware and things here. Yeah, I went online to check how much that is too. It's pretty good.
do we have a stamp on them, you know, the maker? I don't see any.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I looked it up.
Track it down.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
And,
Libby, Libby, we're going to say goodbye to our online guests.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us, and next Tuesday we will have another tour, so make sure you take a look then. Bye-bye.
Bye.